missing somebody. She's still getting ready. Guys, we're running late and you guys are still standing here.
I'll drive.
What do you want me to do? Be late for work?
I'll drive.
Okay, you drive. Oh, see ya.
It's a good day.
Wouldn't want to be ya.
Wait, it's a good day. Nano, it's a good day for you. You have to drive.
Nano's turn. All right, let's go. My babies are here. Yay!
No Mia, no Mia.
Mia's not here? Oh man, I wanted to keep my Mia. Darn it. All right, I'm going in. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Guys, today is a sad update on our fish tank. We knew that Brutus was not doing well, but last night before I went to bed, I found Brutus in the tank and he was not swimming. He's not alive. So Brutus is no longer in our tank, you guys. Brutus the Batman Fish died. I'm so sorry, but I didn't want to get rid of him without you, so I put him on top of the fish tank and I wrapped him in some plastic so we could get rid of him together, okay? So we will get rid of him, but I didn't want to just take him out of there without you. So today we're going to take care of Brutus the Batman Fish and we're going to say goodbye, okay?
I put my finger in the window, he followed it.
Yeah, he liked to do that, didn't he?
Tiny did that too.
Tiny did do that too. Tiny has been out for a long time. Okay, Brutus the Batman Fish has been in our fish tank since November 2nd of 2017. So it's been almost 3.5 years since he joined our family. So it's been a long time that he's been swimming around and we've been hanging out with him and putting our little finger on the tank and watching him. I'm not sure on this type of goldfish what their lifespan is. So I'm thinking that he was probably... Okay, he was never healthy. He always had some issues. He never grew. He's the same size he was when we got him. He's always been a little bit sick. So for him to live 3.5 years in our tank, that's pretty amazing for him. And we already knew because I thought he was dying like a month ago that he was probably not doing well. And this time he did the same thing, except this time he did not pull through his little episode. I don't know what was wrong with him. I have no idea. I tried everything I could to help him feel better, but it was just his time. He had a good life. He got to live in our fish mansion for 3.5 years. Well, he was in this tank for 2 years, but he got to live in our other tank for 1.5 years. So he was with us for 3.5 years almost.
Honestly, only Crystal Jewel has one friend.
Yep, just the snail in there with her. She's got Sheldon, the snail, in there with her. So it's just Crystal Jewel and Sheldon, the snail, in there now. There's little Sheldon down there taking care of business.
I don't think
keeping
they're
our
friends.
tank clean. And there's Crystal Jewel.
Ate one of his antennas.
This is weird, you guys. We got this in the mail today. How did they know that our fish died last night? That's fishy. Fishy. So guys, I did a little research and I found out that common goldfish, which is the kind of goldfish that our fish are.
I thought it was a comet.
Nope, they're not comets. They're actually common, not comet. They have a really long life expectancy if they start their life out correctly and then get to live in ideal conditions for their whole life. They can live as long as 20 years. Sometimes 30 or 40 years.
That's actually big. Dude.
The goldfish that has the longest lifespan in the Guinness Book of World Records lived for 40 years. There's one that lived for 43 years, but it couldn't be verified how old the fish was. So the owner says it's 43 years old, but it couldn't be verified. So between 40 and 43 years is the longest a goldfish has ever lived. And that's just a common goldfish like the ones that we have. But there's a stipulation here. Our goldfish started out in a very overcrowded, unhealthy feeder tank. And we have no idea how long they were in that feeder tank, except that we brought them home about 3.5 years ago.
I was gonna say, I'd be willing to bet it wasn't like 20 years.
No, they definitely weren't in there that long. My point was, it makes a huge difference how they start their lives. If they don't get a good, healthy start, then they won't live very long, and then their life expectancy is somewhere between 3 and 5 years if they live in ideal conditions. So the fact that we knew Brutus the Batman Fish was sick from the time that we got him and kind of expected him to die all along because he was clearly not right. He had some kind of mouth issue where his mouth would turn inside out when he ate, and he never grew. Clearly he had some kind of birth defect thing going on. So for him to live 3.5 years is kind of exactly what we would expect from a fish like him.
Actually, like, he probably did just die in old age.
However, Crystal Jewel, if she got a better start than Brutus the Batman Fish, which we think she did, at least slightly better because she doesn't have the same issues that Brutus the Batman Fish had, she might live for another 15 years.
That'd be hilarious.
She might still be in that same fish tank when you guys go to college.
When I come home from college, like, oh, hi, Crystal.
Yeah. I've known Crystal since I was a little girl.
No, Crystal's gonna be in like this giant koi pond.
So I also looked into how much water they need to be in the ideal fish tank size to live to be 20 to 40 years old. There's 2 different ideal lives for these common goldfish. One of them is in a fish tank, and the better alternative is for them to be in a pond where they have lots and lots of room and everything to eat and everything's wonderful. Crystal Jewel will never live in a pond because we don't have a pond to put her in. However, she does have the next best thing, which is 50 gallons of water all for herself. She's in a 55-gallon tank and she has nobody else in there, so she is in actually the ideal space for her.
It would be actually really funny if we replaced like either the big boat or all the small toys with like a mansion.
And gave her a castle.
Yeah, gave her a castle.
That would be very cool.
Wouldn't it be cute if we got her like a little pink sparkly castle?
She could have the little pink sparkly castle princess house for Crystal Jewel, the princess. She should live for quite a while longer. She's perfectly healthy. She's never had any issues. The only issue I can foresee that she might have is that she's not very big and she does not grow very fast, which could mean that she has been stunted already, but she has been growing a little over the years. She's much bigger than Brutus the Batman Fish was, so clearly she's growing. She's just not growing very fast. She might still live another 15 years. 20 years. She could live a lot longer.
If I had to guess, I would guess, it was funny when you were talking about the lifespan, I actually thought, oh, wouldn't it be funny if they lived for like 20 years? And then you said 20 years. And
yeah.
I felt like a magician.
20 years is not a long life for a goldfish. There have been lots of goldfish that have gone well over 20 and even 30 years.
I'll be like 30-ish when Crystal Jewel dies
if she lives for the maximum lifespan that a goldfish could possibly live for, which I don't expect she will do. But I do think she has at least a couple more years in her. Every year that we have her from now on is like, yay, she lived another year. Yay. So we'll celebrate her birthday every year in November because her bring her home day was November 2nd. So we'll be celebrating her on November 2nd every year. I looked something else up. I looked up, do goldfish get lonely and do goldfish get sad? And through research that they've actually done in real science with real scientists, they don't think that goldfish have the emotional capacity to miss anybody or to be lonely. They just don't have those types of feelings. They can get attached to their caregivers and recognize them, but they don't get attached the same way we do, where we would miss them if they were gone. So fish don't have the emotional capacity to miss each other when they're gone. Sometimes they recognize that their companion is gone, but it's not as though they miss them. They just go, oh, Bob's gone, whatever. We don't have to worry about her emotional well-being because turns out she doesn't have an emotional well-being. She's kind of, forgive the phrase, just a goldfish. Guys, I need to put my Smartypants to bed. Sorry, Brutus the Batman Fish is gone, but we still have Crystal Jewel, and it's time to go to bed. So,
if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Want to make this channel strong? Share it with your friends. And now, good night, YouTube. See you tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe now. Please go touch it. Poof. To let you know, we buried Brutus the Batman Fish outside.
bye, Brutus.
Bye, Brutus.